the joy of selling, the joy of giving, the joy of coaching. We'll talk about joy a little later. But I would like to actually begin with a very, very simple thought. When I heard of infinite dimensions, I got into a bit of a tailspin, actually. It took me almost a week to figure out, and I'm so glad that I was asked well in advance to come and talk here. A week earlier, I wouldn't have been around. A week later, I would have said, I'm busy celebrating the Festival of Lights. But to talk about the joy of selling requires me actually to talk about something which may not always be joyful. And I would like to begin with a story. I call it the wife's warning. Yesterday morning, before leaving for Raipur, I had enough time to have my customary cup of Kadak Gujarati masala tea that my wife makes very lovingly for me. And she asked me this usual question, where are you going? I said, Raipur. Is it a B school? I said, yes. What are you going to talk on? I said, what else can I talk on? Selling. She said, okay. Let me warn you, you will not share the insurance salesman story. I was tempted to argue because the story is phenomenally powerful, it's profound, and for anybody who wants to sell, there's a very powerful lesson in it. But then I'm talking about my wife, and you really can't argue. So I told myself, on the way to Raipur, okay, I shall not share the story of the insurance salesperson. So friends, I shall not share with you the story of the insurance salesperson. Absolutely, that's it. One of the lessons that I've learned in life, which I want to share with all of you is, when you want to sell, don't sell. Otherwise, you're going to be seeing, a friend of mine says, Ranga, this world is full of people who go around like Hrithik Roshan, pushing the product. Why don't we have someone like Shah Rukh welcoming the customer? So that when the customer says, God knows what kind of days there are, the future looks bleak, kal ho na ho. And the salesman says, main hu na. And the customer says, chalo, koi mil gaya. And then he puts his arm around the salesperson's shoulder and says, tum to mere apne ho. One of my favorite, all-time favorite movies from the 70s. And that's when we people began our career. Very, very different times from today. So I must share this insurance salesman story with you. We'll talk about dreams later. I always talk about dreams. I talk about dreams every day. I can't help it. That is the English meaning of my wife's name. So she feels very happy that I talk about her all day. Little does she know that I am talking about dreams. Okay, the insurance salesman. A nervous, scared, absolutely bedraggled insurance salesman walked into the office of a dynamic, celebrated, very, very successful marketing manager. He stumbled in, he somehow managed to get an appointment on the telephone. How he did it, God knows. He walked in, sat down, and very nervously began talking to the marketing chief and said, sir, would you like to buy an insurance policy? It's good for you. It'll do you a world of good. You know, when you die, your wife will become rich. What I'm trying to say is, the celebrated, dynamic, successful marketing chief thumped his fist on the table and said, is this the way you've been taught to sell? Pathetic. This is no way you can sell insurance. Insurance is the only certainty in an uncertain world. Insurance is the only thing that actually happens. A lot of things don't happen. Let me encourage you. Let me give you a kickstart to your career. let me write out a small policy for you. What's the smallest premium? The insurance salesman pulled out some data, gave it to him and said, so this is the premium. The marketing chief signed on the check and told the guy, remember my words, never forget them. Sell with confidence. Sell with elan, sell with flair, sell with style. You're selling a product that does the world a lot of good. The insurance salesman got up, put the papers into the folder, put the folder into the bag, tied up the folder, tied up the bag, and got up and said, sir, thank you very much for your advice. I normally do what exactly you asked me to do, but with you, this was the only strategy that would work. In other words, different strokes for different folks. Every customer is different. Most of us get into this kind of a thought. Customers think alike. These customers are khadus. These customers are liberal. No two people are the same. Each person comes with his own set of problems, with his own fears, with his own worries in life. So therefore, it's a good idea to listen, to understand. Arvind was talking about so many different people from so many different walks of life. There is so much to learn from each, and I'll talk to you about how customers taught me one hell of a lot. And we talk about dreams. Infinite dimensions occur when you dream. Like every young student, I also began with dreams. And dreams basically start from something that you play, something that you take an interest in, cricket, music, and quite a few years later in my career, I got an opportunity to sell computers. I'm talking about an era. Today you have many computers in a room, and I was selling in an era when there were many rooms inside a computer, mini computers, and they say it took a long time to finalize those deals. And I came from a culture, from a different product company, where the motto was, an order a day keeps the boss away. And so I learned that you need to be patient. But first of all, talking about cricket, there are only two movements a batsman actually makes. He goes forward and he goes back. That's it. But a slight slant of the bat, a slight delicacy to the touch, playing the ball a little early, playing the ball a little late, and using the grip on the handle a little tighter or a little loose, and you unleash a wide array of strokes. Countless. And if you start looking at some of the new strokes that have been developed, like the Dil scoop, or that wonderful agricultural stroke that the Nawab of Najafgarh would have been proud of, you have so many different limitless shots born basically out of two movements. Music, Sare Gama Padani, or Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti. And you have a wide range of music that's got created only by permutations and combinations, and a little touch of maybe that komal or the tivra touch to the notes. And so you have Beethoven and Mozart on one hand, the legendary, my favorite, Muhammad Rafi Sahab on the other hand, and you also have someone who can peddle 4 bottles of vodka. Now, you have such a wide range of music possible only because of 7 notes. And when it comes to computers, that takes the cake. And the big bite and the small bite. 2 elements, 1 and 0, and here we have the World Wide Web. I believe this program is being streamed live, thanks to the World Wide Web, thanks to 1 and 0, and funnily, one of the elements is a 0. So you out of a 0, look at what you've gone and created. Infinite dimensions occur everywhere, and it happened in my case as well. All that I think you need is just maybe one dream, one thought, one cause, one reason, one factor that makes you reach out and unleash an array of different things to offer to your customers. As you can see from this picture, studying in an elite college in Delhi University, which has been famous for mass production of bureaucrats and corporate honchos, I was more keen on riding a bike. I was keen on riding a bullet, an Enfield bullet, and there was nothing else. People said, no, we're talking about what do you want to do for a living? I said, I want to ride a bike. He said, "ये दिल्ली है, this is not Goa where you ride a bike and earn money, ferrying people from Mapsa to Madgaon, or Dabolim to Porvorim, or Kandolim, or Bicholim." I said, "I want to ride a bike." People look for a job that comes with a bike. I was looking for a bike that came with a job. And sure enough, I got it. They say, no, destiny makes things happen. Destiny brought about a newspaper advertisement from a company that used to never advertise, and a presto sign board outside a hotel which said, "Earn more than our managing director and get bike free." The first half didn't really fascinate me. It still doesn't. Money isn't everything. Small tip for all of you. But the second half, it said, "Get a motorcycle free and see the world." I walked inside and walked out with an offer. Trainee sales rep to be posted in Rajasthan and travel the interiors of the state selling products. The rest, as they say, probably was motorcycling history or sales history or the commencement of many, many lessons. Lesson number one, I was busy enjoying the ride. I don't know how many customers I met. I don't know how many weighing scales or computers or electric fans or sewing machines or air conditioners or packaging tape or ceramic tiles or computer education that I sold. Incidentally, I sold all these products on paper. Never mind the terrain, the weather, or the weathers, whether the guy is going to buy or not. Icy cold winds in winter, the fiery heat of Rajasthan, torrential rains. Yes, it rains in Rajasthan, it does. And you can get stuck in the floods. There are times when you make friends with the most unlikeliest of people, and someone very good-naturedly tells you, "ये St. Stephen's वाली अंग्रेजी यहाँ नहीं चलेगी बेटा, ये राजस्थान है, हिंदी में बात करना." And traveling to help, I don't think I ever traveled to sell, but which I very proudly and happily tell people, 250,000 kilometers of absolute fun and solving customers' problems. From Halwais to the royal family to the cup that cheers, walking into a sweet shop 35 years after having sold the product and recognizing the very weighing machine that you sold to the signature sweet shop in Jaipur, and the owner of the sweet shop telling you, "आपके इस कांटे ने मेरे मिठाई की दुकान को होटल बना दिया." Or the tea seller in Bhilwara in Rajasthan who says, "Major Saab," and he recognized me after 34 years, and he says, "अब आप colonel हो गए हो. Your weighing scale still helps me make great blends." These are far, far better than the increments and promotions that you can get. Lesson number two, learn joyfully. People are going to throw you out. People are going to say yes, you'll get business. People are going to say no, they're going to teach you a lesson. In my book, Discovering the Joy of Selling, I've offered thanks to all of them, saying the ones who didn't buy gave me fantastic lessons. And the lessons remain etched. Whether it is the Chambal where you made friends with dacoits, or the river Looney, which actually one day became Looney and prevented you from crossing, and you still did. You learn to take the rough with the smooth. You learn to take no. You learn to handle yes. Success doesn't go to your head. Failure doesn't go to your stomach. The lessons came very, very handy, and I fell in love. I fell in love with people. I fell in love in Ahmedabad. Yesterday, my young friend Zishan was saying, if you really want to understand a place, your tongue helps you understand the place. What he was saying was love for the food. Well, I would say one more thing, love for the language. You speak somebody's language, and he's not going to sound confused and say, "Ate bhi nahi, vate bhi nahi, gayo to kate gayo." Lesson number 3, and something that makes me feel extremely happy to share with you. Be proud of what you do. Be proud that you actually solve people's problems. Be proud that you make things happen. Salespeople make things happen. A young set of rural marketing experts in a town in Anand in Gujarat. This class took place close to midnight because that was the only time they were available. They didn't let me sleep, and they stayed awake and were sharing lots of interesting stories. Lesson number 4, never fear the board. Ladies and gentlemen, the one thing that drives me today, I don't work for a company, I'm no longer head of sales and marketing, but the one board that I want to get removed is the one that says, Dogs, hawkers, and salesmen not allowed. And I'm not going to rest until these boards are removed, not by my friends who follow me, not by those 3,000 youngsters who follow me, but by the president or the secretary of the housing society, because he says, you make our day, you're most welcome. Each one of us sells. Politicians sell, lawyers sell, doctors sell. Each one of you. You sold me this invite to come and talk to TEDx, and I sold you my profile. We all sell, so why is that stigma attached to the sales guy? We realized it's the sales guy who probably has a little less respect for himself. Because he thinks, I need to beg, I need to ask the customer for a favor. Nobody is doing you a favor. Nobody will do a favor unless he has a need, the man is not going to buy. So next time you go to sell, be very confident. If he has a need, he needs the product. Learn to be dignified, learn to sell with respect. And I am working with a lot of youngsters to help them gain respect. Awards will come. There are a lot of awards that have come my way. But the awards I want to share with you is a wave of awareness for regaining dignity for the salesperson. And that is my goal. That is my dream. Create the waves, stoke the flames, spread the fire, engulf the world, and make sure that you're making somebody's day. You will be responsible. You'll have to be patient. We talked about time. Alvin talked about it. It takes a lot of time. All movements were sparked by one person. Your director sir talked about it. Every movement sparked off by one person, opposed by many, and then they finally follow you. Lesson number 6. Learn to Sell or Prepare the Hell was the name I had suggested for my book. But because the Sri Aurobindo Society was co-partnering it, they said, think of discovering the joy of selling. The only way to do business is sell. Even if your business isn't doing well, even if you want to get out of that business, you will still have to learn to sell it on OLX or wherever. So I think what's extremely important is for us to realize we sell every moment. We need to be proud. And what will gladden my heart is the way you greet a salesman next time you meet him. When a salesman does you a lot of good, do you acknowledge it? Do you ask him his name, pat him on the back and say, thanks very much? Do you discover joy by selling joy? Don't just make a living, make a life. Be well. This silver-coated, glass-bottomed beer mug that I got as one of the awards, it is unfortunately empty. But it has my name on one side and the company's name on the other. I think I've hit it on the head. My time is running out, and so is this presentation. Thanks very much. I wish you great joy.